Hi, Jorge. My name is Nilay. How are you doing?
Hi Nilay, how are you doing?
I'm excellent. Thank you.
Good. You know that coastal cities and people that live in the coast have a huge problem. They have these, they like these great views, but they are also having this problem with floods and storm surges. And they are struggling because they want to keep that view, but at the same time, they want to be protected. So we have created that. Smart walls are precisely telescopic structural walls with extension and retraction capabilities that provide protection only when they need it, and they can retract back to the ground when the protection is not needed, so they can clear the view and they have access to the water. You
Mm,
can raise them up with your hands or even remotely control with our online application. And we have been awarded almost $1 million for the development of technology, and we have created great prototypes, interesting prototypes of the technology working. Right
mm,
now, we are aiming at starting some pilot projects in coastal cities, and after those pilot projects, what we want to do is scale the technology and reach the markets that we have, either scaling the technology up for protecting entire cities, or scaling the technology down to protect specific homeowners or business owners around the coastlines or riverine communities. You want to
Mm,
join us?
mhm.
thank you.
Interesting. All right.
Interesting. Very interesting. This is very good.
Okay.
Ash, do you have a quick feedback point or two?
Sure. I'll give you a quick feedback. I'm like meandering a lot today, Malay. I'm like a talking person. I've been talking a lot today.
Well, you have to be
Jorge,
quiet for the 1 minute pitches.
exactly. So, Jorge, I love what you're working on. Okay, just personally, I think it's awesome. When I was listening to your pitch, I think that when we think about pain points, pressure points, tension points, we talk about climate change. Okay, you are a climate change green startup if you think about it, right? Because you're building a product that's going to help. Right? There's some people that are going to try to solve the climate change. You're somebody that's saying, okay, it's inevitable. Okay, and so the thing is when I think about what your pitch was, is I wanted to know a little bit more about the level of impact currently facing rising sea levels and stuff like this, right? So yesterday I shared your startup with one of our advisors in Singapore, right? It's an island, small island, right? Lots of money, and I wanted to know, what rising sea levels were going to be and what kind of impact it is. And Jorge, I also wanted to know while you were pitching, is this a product that's best used for condominiums or for homes, right? Do you know what I mean? Like the market. I wanted to know, and then obviously I also wanted to know kind of where you're attacking the market because I know that in Buffalo there's not that much.
Oh yeah.
You know, is that fair to
Zero.
say?
Yeah, it's not
Right?
coastal.
There's not. It's not coastal, right? You can go to a lake close by. There's some
Yeah, there's
lakes,
Niagara Falls, I guess.
right? Niagara Falls, but you don't want to build on Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
I don't think that your product's not for Niagara Falls.
Yep.
So I wanted to know that, and then I also wanted to know, like, in a way, the costing relative to the existing fabrication and of walls, right, in homes, right, and what the lifetime value around that is, right. That's kind of where my brain was, where I wanted to know these components, right. I wanted to know that we use your product in your coastal home, maybe your insurance will drop. Okay. Or I wanted to know that your lifetime value, because the average person that lives in a coastal area has to do a certain level of maintenance. And by using your product, it's going to be better, cheaper. Do you know what I mean? You know, take the Tesla car example, right? You know what I mean? Like you pay a lot more upfront, but you don't have to pay for gas and you don't have to pay for oil changes type thing, right? I wanted to kind of know that because I'm not in the building industry. Okay. If I was in the building industry, it might be a little bit different. I'll lay over to you.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And Ash, yeah, I mean, even including things like, how, say, you know, some storms like Katrina, how much they, damage they caused, and how could you? This kind of makes it real, right? Like it's not a hypothetical doomsday scenario. This is happening, right? And maybe talking about a scenario like, okay, you know, the storm surges in Katrina, like the storm Katrina, or like in Texas, in a couple of months ago, how much damage that they caused, right? And these could have been avoided if those power plants use your technology, right? So to some extent, but even that is kind of where my mind was going, right? It's just focusing on the problem. It's not like like a hypothetical scenario that you're talking about. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Yep. So tell me a little bit about just the target market. Is it homes, condos, resorts, and hotels? Like what exactly it is?
So we have different segments actually, and this is usually one of the things that we have is quote unquote the struggle of explaining that this could be easily applied for those markets, either of those markets, right? So the question becomes is which one do you want to tackle first? So the segments that we have are basically cities that they're looking to provide protection to the population, to the citizens, right, to public assets. Business owners, for instance, we're talking about hotels, we're talking about literally restaurants that are right next to the water, right, that they cannot lose that water because that could be considered like the main source of revenue, let's say. And homeowners the same way, because the homeowners are experiencing these floods, or they either they need to raise their homes or lose the view. So those are the market segments we think we need to tackle first, the cities, the public infrastructure, because this is where, I mean, I think that technology matches with their need first, and it's easier to trickle down from cities to specific homes. And that's exactly what's kind of like we're trying to do right now with the pilot projects we're aiming at.
Okay. No, that's good to know. Thank you. And what's your ask? You didn't have a clear ask. You just said, would you like to join us?
Oh, yes. Okay. But because I guess we were close to the 1 minute. So,
yeah. Just I'd like to know the ask.
So right now we are aiming at about $1 million, $1 to $1.5 million for building the company and around the technology, the pilot projects that we are aiming at.
Okay, sounds good. Do you want me to pitch your idea back? We've hit the top.
That'd be great.
All right, let's do that. Shall I begin? You want to introduce yourself? Okay.
Yes. Hi, Nilay. How are you? I'm Jorge.
Hey, Jorge, I'm good. Jorge, I'm part of the Smart Walls construction team. And, people living in coastal areas are facing a real problem with storm surges. Just, a few years ago with the Katrina, storm, real estate industry in Florida lost $8 billion in just storm surges due to the damage in the storm surges. And climate change is just making the matters worse, like we saw 2 months ago in Texas. At Smart Walls Construction, what we looked at is, can we solve this problem in a similar way that we solve the problem of turning on the blinds in our homes? There's a constant battle between making it safe versus making it beautiful to not avoid the views of the seas. Okay, so we are developing this extendable and retractable walls for homes, resorts, condominiums, and even power plants in order to save themselves from storm surges. Currently, we have received over $1 million in funding to build the technology, and we are looking for $1 million more in equity financing in order to scale this up. Would you be interested to have a chat?
Well done, Nilay. Like it.
That's good.
Like it. All right, Jorge. There's some interesting insights for you today, right? Number one is the market sizing. Okay, so let's make sure we lock that down. And Jorge,
I just made up some numbers. Okay, Katrina, $8 million, like that. I just made those up. Okay, but get those numbers in to make it real.
Yeah. Okay. The one thing that I noticed, Nilay, and I would like to have your feedback on that, is that you spend about half of the time talking about the problem and half of the time talking about the solution. So sometimes I hear, the problems of floods is so easy to grasp that you should spend little in the problem because it's easy to identify what's the problem is. I don't know. What's your feedback on that?
No, it's actually, if I had to do this again, I would actually spend a little bit less time on the problem. I realized that I'm spending way more time. I wanted to bring in the blinds, analogy, and how we turn on the blinds if we want to view, and then we turn off the blinds, on our windows when we don't want. And I wanted to use that analogy. I was not able to, weave that in very well. Okay, so that was just, on my side. If I have to do it again, I would move to the solution using the blind analogies sooner. Okay, and then get into the product and get into the solution at that point. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Excellent. Jorge, thank you for going first, and stay safe. And I look forward to seeing you in Buffalo once the COVID. We do a lot of our factory outlet shopping in Buffalo. So Jorge, we're going to come see you.
Please,
yes.
we're
Jorge has has a client in near our place in Cambridge, right? Or yeah, in
Cambridge.
one of the
All right.
towns. Yeah, in
No, we'll
Cambridge,
go
Ontario.
visit him. We're gonna go.
Yeah.
We're gonna go catch an NFL game, and we're gonna hang out with Jorge in
Sounds-
Buffalo. All right.
Sounds
You know?
good.
Thanks, Jorge, for joining us. Always a pleasure.